Right, well, hi folks, welcome back, or should we say, välkommen till Sverige. Here we are in southern Sweden, and as you can see, as it says on the tin there, we're doing a bit of carry-on camping. So what carry-on camping is basically you need to be able to have everything as a carry-on. So you need to be able to, drag that onto the plane with you, no hold luggage or anything else like that at all. So obviously that leaves you with a couple of problems really. Obviously you're not allowed a knife, you're not allowed to take hiking poles. So what I've done is we've just stopped on a route here and just gone into the shop and just brought a set of hiking poles and a knife. So here we are at Tyresta, which is a national park just south of Stockholm. It's a place I've wanted to visit for a long time, but just never gotten around to it. I'm here with my mate Kev. We've literally got everything that we need for about 3 days here in this national park. But before we head off, let's just take a look at the gear loadout for that bag. So the bag I've chosen to take with me on this trip to Tyresta is this Fjällräven backpack here. So this is the Singi 20-litre backpack, and it's made with the standard Fjällräven fabric there, the G1000. And the reason I've chosen this, apart from like my upkeep ledge or something, is because it's got these great little side pockets that you can buy as an accessory with these as well, and these basically fit onto pretty much all of the Fjällräven bags. So that will actually fit onto the side of the stubborn here. So we've got the daisy chain on the sides there as well, so they sort of like intermix with each bag there. And then this one's just got one of the gear pockets on there, which I find is really handy, just to stick a rod tube or a tripod or something in the side there. But the reason I chose those is you can see they're pretty big as well, so you can get plenty of gear inside of that. So we've got this here, 3 days worth of gear inside of this 20-litre bag here. So we'll take a look at what I'm actually taking with me. So on the front of the bag there, we've got the Gatewood Cape by 6 Moons Design. So if you want to see a little video on an overview of that tent/poncho, then I'll stick a link up the top there. So that's on the front of the bag. And then looking inside the top section of the bag there, we'll just go through all of the gear that I've taken with me there. So I've got my headlamp in the top there, some crap tickets. I've got some Nordic Summer mosquito repellent. Don't think I'm going to be needing it, but I've got it there as well. In the top there, unzipping this section here, I've got a stash of jerky, some Renier wild organic jerky inside of there, and then my tent pegs inside of there. So food wise, I think we've got enough. So I've got one of the Arctic field ration packs, so that is the salmon and pasta, and inside of there there's also an energy drink, piece of bread, some nut butter, some coffee. So there's a good bit inside of there, basically everything you need inside of that there. Then we've got a beef stew, good old faithful cod in curry sauce, and then we've got one of the beef soups. So these are really good. So there's 256 kilocalories inside of that there, and they're really easy to digest. You can just swallow this down and off you go. You haven't got to worry about sitting and waiting to digest all of that. Good selection of jerky from Renier here as well, all organic jerky that we've got here. So we've got some elk, reindeer, some red deer. Oh, and there's a bag of Jack Links that has slipped inside of there as well. And then we've got the John West jacket toppers. So these are really good, because these are like little MRE pouches there. So inside of that, what have we got inside of there? 135 kilocalories of energy in each of one of those, so they're going to be quite handy. And then you've got these little cracker toppers as well, so we'll get some, or we'll have some bread, some knäckebröd that we'll use for those. And then we've also got these little Polish cup of soups inside of there, and I mean, they're not massive. I mean, one portion of that is 76 kilocalories of energy inside of there, but just to have something hot and to warm you up is going to be really handy. And then I've got small little hand towel, me Flextail Gear pillow, Revolution Race fleece, spare t-shirt, and then I've got the Serenity bug shelter, which fits inside of the Gatewood Cape there. So you can use this as a standalone, or you can use it with the Gatewood Cape. I've got me down jacket, that's the Fjern Active, which is a really nice packable down jacket. And then I've got my seat pad. What else have we got in here? And then sleeping bag wise, now possibly going to be a bit cold with this, because this is a 2/3 season bag. This is by Fjern, this one is. So we'll see how we get on with that. But I've got plenty of warm clothes with me in case it does get a bit cold. And then looking at the side pockets here, so like I say, you can get plenty of gear inside of these. So opening up the side pocket, I've got a couple of those cracker toppers. These are the John West tuna as well. My battery pack, and then that's me filling hose from a water filter. So I've got my cable from my battery pack, spare pair of socks, pair of thermal long johns, and then there is my Lifesaver Liberty, which is my water filter, so you can use that as like a water bottle and as a filter, along with the hose that comes with that as well. And then what else have we got in there? A spare pair of pants, and I think that is roughly everything, and a trash bag. So then going over to the other side, I have got me miniature first aid kit and my toothbrush and bits and bobs like that. I've got my Yuko Light candle lamp inside of here as well, which I'm looking forward to using because I haven't actually used this one yet. And then what else have we got? So inside of there, random piece of paracord, my coffee bag, my cookser, and then fuel wise, obviously you can't take any fuel on an aeroplane with you, i.e. gas or meths or anything like that. So what I've decided to take with me here is I've got a bag of fat wood sticks here as well. So that's basically what I'm going to be using to cook with, and I'm going to be cooking with, as soon as I can find it, I've got my little tiny twig stove inside of there, so that's mainly what I'm going to be cooking off. My spork, last but not least, should I say, and it just just fits in the bottom, is my Eagle kettle inside of this little bag here. And that is basically all I'm going to be doing, is just boiling water for my freeze-dried meals, and then I'll have a few crackers or something that I'll get on there as well. And then just stuffed inside of my kettle there, I've got a tin of mackerel, and then just one of the squeezy juices inside of there, and then that will hopefully be enough for this week, and hopefully I'll be able to get this can of fish out of here. Right, as you can see, we are drastically losing the light. We haven't got far to go to the first camp, which is about 3k at a guess. Now the thing is with Tyresta is it's very, very close to Stockholm, so it is a very, very popular park. So whether we're going to be there on our own, I really, really don't know. Sunset's at about 18:30. It's now 18:44, so it's getting dark. So without further ado, we're going to crack on and hopefully find a place for this evening. So there you expect to see beaver and everything, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we've just come up to the first campsite now, on this, just by this lake, just behind us here. Let's just hope it's free, unless they're 6 foot female and into nature swimming at 6 o'clock in the morning. Right, well, I don't know whether you can hear that, but there's about 20 kids all camping up on that campsite over there. So we've come around the lake a little bit, and we're just going to set up here. As you can see, it's absolutely pitch black, and I don't fancy trudging through the forest when it's like this. So I found a spot. There's just about enough space to get my tent up. Kev's going to stick his hammock up over there, and then tomorrow morning we can get deeper into the national park, out of the way of this sort of things. I was half expecting this really, because it's easy access, like I said, from Stockholm, and it's easy access from the car park there to get to those sort of places. But it's warm. It is bloody close at the moment. Right, without further ado, I'm going to get this headlamp on, put the camera away, and let's get this tent set up. Right, so we're all set up. You can probably hear that racket over there. It's not going to be the most peacefulest camp that we've got going on here today, but it is just a quick camp. It was getting too dark for us to be stumbling through these trees at this time. So we're just going to have something to eat. I've literally just got one of these little tins or packets of tuna. Have a brew, get ourselves to sleep, get out the shotguns. You can see that lot just behind me, can't you? There's 20 odd school kids over there, they were saying, that are having their sort of end of summer camp. So yeah, so we're just going to scoff all this, have a brew and hit the hay, and then we're going to make our way deeper into the park tomorrow. And this is not going to be a peaceful sleep. Right, well, morning from day one's camp. I slept pants last night, I really did. My hip was playing up and there was a hell of a lot of noise coming from over there. But, you know, 20 kids out in the wilderness, what do you expect, really? And at the end of the day, this is for everyone, you know. Once they shut up, it wasn't a bad night's sleep, really. But I was sleeping on the a little bit last night, so I didn't get a great night's sleep. A little bit of rain through the night, not a great deal. And as you can see, the wind's picked up now as well, and it's coming straight across the lake there. So it gives the tent a little bit time to dry out as well. But yay, it's nice to be back out in Sweden amongst all of the blueberry bushes, the pines, and these beautiful, beautiful lakes. Right, I'm going to get a brew on the go, get a coffee, get myself something to eat, and we're going to head further into the national park today, and then hopefully we'll be a little bit away from society. You know, Tyresta is an easy access park. It's not that far from Stockholm. It's about 20k, not even 20k, I think, from Stockholm. So it does get visited and it does get used a lot. And the great thing about that is like this little trip we've done today, or for the next couple of days. You know, it's something that's easy accessible and easy to do, especially from the UK. And the whole sort of point of this carry-on camping that I've done here, or the aspect of it, is that it's something that you can just put your bag onto the plane. You haven't got to pay for hold luggage, so it brings the price down. I mean, this whole trip here, between the two of us here, it's £400 with a car hire to get here as well. So £200, we've got, 4 days walking, 3 nights out in this beautiful, beautiful national park, Tyresta. So there will be a few more videos like this coming up shortly. So I'm going to have a little bit of a go at doing this. And it's just a way, you've got to think about what gear you're putting on. Obviously, you can't take a knife with you. You can't take your hiking poles with you. So if you're going to have a go at doing this carry-on camping, please do check with the airline to make sure that you can and what you can't carry on, as it were. You know, you could have yourself a little hold bag if you wanted to. But I like the idea of just having everything in a tiny, tiny little bag, getting on the aeroplane, and then jumping off, and then off you go. Right, let's get a brew on, get something to eat, and then we'll start making our way northeast into the park. So the tent we're using during this trip is the Gatewood Cape by Six Moons Designs, and it is absolutely perfect for this because it's stupidly lightweight, and it can be used as a poncho as well, so it folds up into itself. There's a full review on the channel if you want to take a look at this. So yeah, it's just got a pocket on the inside there, and it just folds up into itself So what I'm going to do is inside of this little pouch here, this goes on the back of my bag, all my waterproof trousers inside of it. So I've got my full waterproof gear when I'm walking, and then you can have it as your tent as well. And it is, for my height, 1.83. It is a little bit too small, but I can just about get away with it. But it's an absolute brilliant little thing. It really is. Like I say, really lightweight, and doubles up as your poncho as well. That way, I guess. Right then, off we go. We're following the purple markers, and then we break off a little bit further along, I think. Well, with a little bit of rain, we might be in a chance for some fungi. Now, I've got a base soup in my back there as well, so it would be an idea to find a couple of seps, and we can chop them up, shove them in the kettle with a base soup, and have a proper mushroom soup. Well, look at this, the sun is out. We've had a good bit of rain over the night, and we've got absolutely tons and tons of these little slippery jacks that are all popped out. So I think we will be having a mushroom soup a little bit later on. Get some of these picked and get them boiled up. So that's a slippery jack, that's all slippery on the top of it there. I don't know what the actual name of this is, but I know it's slippery jack, or maślanki in Polish. But yeah, there's absolutely tons around here, and the sun's just come out, or it's now gone in again. But what an absolute beautiful place to be in. It is absolutely gorgeous, it really is. Harry, I've reached the top. Now look, a bit grey over yonder. Right, well, here's a bit of the wet stuff coming down. Never mind. It's not heavy. No need to stick the rain layers on yet. It doesn't look, I mean, it looks grey as hell over at Will's mum's over there, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be for a while. Touch wood, anyway. But we're sort of topping out here, as you can see. Look, we're just on the top here, the top of the trees here, and now sort of going down a little bit further. What an absolute stunning view. Looking forward to finding the camp, and then we'll see what time it is by the time we get to the next wind shelter, and then we can make a plan of what we're going to get up to. Do we carry on, or do we stop? You think of the work that these little beavers have to do with their teeth to get through this whole massive great birch here. Look at that. How long did that take? If you think every one of these strips is a bite mark from there. So they're felling the whole tree so it drops down into the water, so they can get the smaller limbs off, and then it's the bark that they're eating that they pull off. So if we're quiet, we'll see whether we can see one. So if you look just behind me there, you can just see the beaver's lodge just up in the distance, just over here, and then just in front you can see his dam that he's built. His whole little family is built down there. Now, I was under the impression that European beavers don't dam and don't build lodges. They live in the banks, but obviously this one has decided to go a bit rogue and build himself a dam. You can see he's pushed up all of the mud and everything there, and then from the other side you can see where they've laid all the timbers and then put the mud on the other side to dam this all up, and then his his little lodge is just through the trees just there. Well, we're going to get there fairly early in the day. We've got about another K&a-half before we get to the next wind shelter, and it's 9:20. So we'll get up there, and then we'll have to decide what we're going to do for the rest of the day. It's really, really early in the day, but at least it guarantees us a wind shelter, you know. One of the reasons is coming out here is to have a nice open fire in the forest and just sit and chew the cud and just enjoy the surroundings. So if we've got to get there early in the day to bag it for the night, then so be it. At least that gives me a chance to go out, do a bit of foraging and make a nice mushroom soup for dinner. Saying that, look at this bad boy down here. So he is a little bit munched, as you can see, but that is Boletus edulis, that one. Penny bun, huge great stalk on it there, grown massive, absolutely massive. And normally where there's one, there's another one, but they're really, really good eating. But that one is past its sell by. So right, so here we are. We've managed to bag this hut for this evening. This is on the lake Långsjön. As you can see, it's pretty windy blowing through here. A nice little site. You can see there, you've got the markers inside of there that show you the area of the campsite, because you're not allowed to camp anywhere on this part, in this nature reserve, apart from the designated campsites there. Firewood there, it's like £4 for 10 to 12 pieces, and you've got a QR code on there as well that you can pay for it as well. But yeah, what an absolute cracking little hut and campsite. You've got the box of wood just around the back there. What else have we got there? A couple of dirty old pans and a grill and a chopping board, but yeah, rather not be using those. So Kev's just collecting some wood and some tinder and get a fire on the go, and we are claiming this hut for this evening in the name of King Charles. Right, so we've got the fire going, got some water on the boil. I've had a bit of an issue, which isn't a major issue really, but I brought out the Lifesaver Liberty to use as my water filter this week. And I like this one because you can use it as a water bottle. You've got 400 ml of fluid inside of there that you can just take the cap off and drink out of the cap, or you can screw it straight into your Nalgene and it will fill up your Nalgene. Now, through user error, I completely forgot how to use this thing. So you're not supposed to pump it 5 times and then you just let it drain out. And I thought I was using another water filter, and it's gone pop. It's gone completely cracked on the top there, and it is beyond use, which I'm really gutted about. It's so it's not the actual filter that was the issue, it was me. It was user error. I just completely forgot how to use the blooming thing. So I'm going to be boiling water for the rest of the duration of this trip and just letting it cool down. So it's just a case of just keeping the water bottle topped up. I do feel a little bit dehydrated today, so I do need to get about 1.5 litres of fluid into me today. But first, just going to boil it up. And yeah, so going to get set up. I might actually just sleep inside of the hut tonight, to be perfectly honest. It's a nice little hut there. The wind is sort of coming across us. So it is a little bit sort of secluded where we are here. But yeah, so I might just sleep in the back of the hut for tonight. So anyway, I'm going to get a few things squared away, have a brew, get some water boiled, and then head out, do a bit of foraging, and get a nice little mushroom soup on for lunch, I think. Right, I know it's early, but I'm going to set up my bed so we can bag this shelter for ourselves. So you can see there's tons and tons of room in here. You could easily sleep 4 or 5 people inside of here, but I'm going to have a bash at setting up the Serenity bug shelter. That's the inner for the gatewood cape that I was using last night. I'm going to have a bash at setting that up, just inside here and sleeping in here tonight. I think I should be able to do it. Just wedge a couple of pegs in the slats below and then string it up on that nail above there. I reckon it'll work. Let's have a look. So it's worked out quite well, really. I've just used sticks on each of the corners through the slats at the bottom there, and the elastic's gone onto that, and then just wedged the stick up there with a little hook on the top of it, and that's worked out really, really well. So great thing about that Serenity shelter is it can be used separately, and the same with the wherever it is, the Gatewood Cape. You know, you don't have to use this within it if you're hiking in the winter and there's no bugs around. So yeah, that's worked out really, really well. Bit of cover from the insects. I haven't actually come across a great deal because of the wind and everything, but if I'm going to sleep out here tonight, I'd rather have myself with a little bit of shelter. Right, I'm going to find myself a bag and a knife and go see if I can find some shrooms. Make way for the mushrooms, make way for the mushrooms. Chodź tu tak ziebek. There we are. That one's prime. I don't know what that's called in English. Polish is called podjebek. And they smell so, so good. And that is a beautiful example of a Boletus edulis. Well, there's a few about. Just got to spend my time walking around looking for them. Right, so we have got, I'm not sure what that one is in English. I think it's a bay Boletus, and that's a small little penny bun. Right, let's get these chopped up and get these in a soup. Mushrooms all done. Let's get some water, get them boiled up. And as we're both pretty much carnivores, let's add some meat to it. So I've got a bag of Renier, what we got, black pepper jerky. So we'll shove some of that inside. And we've just been given some hen of the woods. So we'll drop some of that in by a couple of guys that are out foraging. Let's get our packet soup inside. Right, I think we're there, boy. An elk jerky. Right, there we go. See what you think to that. Right, there we are. Let's see how this is. Oh, nice and warm. Perfect. That hen of the woods is really, really good. Right, the sun's past the yard arm, as you can see there. It's got a bit chilly now since that's disappeared behind the trees there. So getting ready to have something to eat. I'm going to have one of those tonight. So I've got the real Termat cod in curry sauce for this evening. Looking forward to having this. Been a cracking day up here today. It's been really, really nice. Just done a bit of foraging, had a bit of a cook up and whatnot, and just relax. And basically it's just what this little trip is all about, really. Just chilling out and just taking time and just taking in the nature. This absolutely beautiful, beautiful place that we're in, Tyresta National Park here in the south of Sweden here. It's absolutely gorgeous. Definitely recommend it. Like I say, doing this sort of thing, like with the carry-on camping, it just shows you how just possible and just easy accessible this sort of place is. You know, you go up to the Lake District, like from where I am, it's 5-hour drive, 5-hour plus actually, to get up there. You're talking, with my motor, you're talking 200 quid of fuel. You know, and it'll take you, you know, twice as long really to get up there and to get somewhere where you're camping. You know, okay, we spent a bit of time traveling yesterday, but look where we are. You know, we've got this beautiful hut that we're stopping in. You're allowed an open fire down here as well, and it's just absolutely gorgeous to be walking through all of the marsh, seeing the beavers. You can hear the loons and everything in the background, and yeah, absolutely beautiful. I did accidentally startle an eagle earlier on over there. I completely forgot about that. I was just walking through there, doing a bit of foraging, and there was a carcass of a bird down there, and this eagle literally just flew up right next to me. I absolutely bricked myself seeing that. And one of my favourites, this one is, the bits of fish in this are just amazing. It's not like a curry sauce that we would class a curry sauce in the UK, but there's a slight curry flavour and it's yellow. But it's good, that's the main thing. Right, there we go, last brew of the day, and look at that sunset behind us. Absolute fantastic end to an absolutely brilliant day here in Tyresta National Park in Sweden. Right, cheers. Right, well there we go, that is the end of today. I'm absolutely knackered. I've done nothing all day and I'm just knackered. So really enjoyed myself sitting up here. It's been absolutely fantastic, just sitting outside, just chilling out, watching the TV of life, the fire just out there. It's been an absolute cracking evening. Right, I'm going to hit the hay and I'll catch you in the morning. Well, morning. A little bit nippy. Well, the main thing is, that great old wind has stopped. Yeah, I slept really well. A little bit cold in places, obviously with that wind as it was coming straight through there, and I was getting smoked out by that by that fire for a little bit, so I ended up stinking like a kipper. But yeah, absolutely beautiful out here today. It's almost mill pond. Well, it was mill pond, mirror-like out there earlier on, but there's a little bit of a wind coming up. Right, I've just started the fire. I just left over from last night's embers and stuff that was still in there. Just going to get the kettle on, get ourselves a nice cowboy coffee for this morning, and then we'll have a look at where we're going to head. So the plan is today, if we get the old map out, so we were going to head up to this archipelago up the top here, and you can see there's a fire pit just there, and that's where we were going to camp. But then obviously Friday, that means we've got quite a bit of a walk to do all the way back to where the car is. So we've got this campsite here by this this lake, and you can see there's another wind shelter there, and then that will take us through this area here, which is the burn area. So there was a massive burn about, I think it was about 15 years ago. So it'd be interesting to walk through there, and then that'll take us back to the car park. But we shall see how we go. It might be a case that we walk up to that archipelago, have a look at that, because we've got pretty much all day today. But what we do want to do is bag another campsite. Really, we don't want to be spending the, you know, finding like we had on the first night when there's 20 people camping in there. But we'll see. We'll have a coffee, we'll have something to eat, and then we'll decide what we're going to get up to. Right, well, a cup of coffee. Just get all the bits of cardamom out of it. Oh, it is still a little bit chilly, but nothing massive. But that call of that lake is calling me for a bit of a morning nature swim. It's just getting out of this warm stuff and getting into that cold stuff that is the transitional problem that I've got this morning. Well, I don't know whether this is Mad Dogs, an Englishman, but the lake temperature actually isn't too bad compared to the air temperature. Right, are we ready for my testicles in my throat? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Whoa! Whew. That's not bad. It's not too cold. Actually, it's freaking freezing. Oh, it's nice though. Whew. What an amazing place. Right, let's go for a swim. That was absolutely amazing. I don't feel cold at all now. Just highly, highly invigorated. I'd say it is kicking around 10 degrees. That was definitely character building. But what a feeling to be, as nature intended, end of September, swimming in a lake in Sweden. I think we're going to get a really, really nice day of weather today. The sun's now coming up. You can just see it hitting the trees there. I think we're going to get a beautiful, beautiful day today. And what a fantastic trip this has been so far. It's been absolutely brilliant. I mean, okay, it's only, 3 nights and 4 days, but within those 3 nights and 4 days of experiences, you got a lifetime of memories just to look back at and just remember this little trip, So I do hope that you do sort of follow this sort of thing that I've done here and do some of it yourself. It's cost effective, and it's just the experience that you get out of it is amazing. Just to throw a small little bag on an aeroplane, pick up a hire car or public transport, whatever way you want to go, and get out here for a few days and do it. But come and visit this park. Like I say, it's easy accessible. It doesn't take long to get from Stockholm, whether you're in a hire car or public transport, and then you've got all of this here to play with. Right, I'm going to get my hair dried, get another coffee on the go and start packing up, I think. All right, some sardine paste. Even though it is a bit chilly, I'm taking my top off so I don't sweat so much. As they say, be bold and start cold. Get the old bag on. Oh, and already got the sun is coming out, as you can see, just behind us there. So it looks like it's going to be a nice day. And it pretty much is. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Right, onwards and upwards to the next one. So it's going to be, I think we got about, by the looks of that sign, about 2.5k until our junction. And then we're just going to see how we go today. So we've got plenty of time, but we do want to get to the next place to bag it before anyone else. But we don't want to be sitting around all day again today, so we're probably going to walk up to that campsite we were looking at the map on that archipelago there, have a look-see at that, and then come back further down just near to where the burn is in the park, and have a look at that one there. There's a wind shelter again there. It'd be nice to sleep in that. It was quite nice sleeping in that last night. But absolute beautiful morning. It's nearly as still as still. The sun's coming through the trees now, so I think we're going to get probably the best day of this little trip today. And yeah, so off we go. Alright, we'll just come off the main trail now, and we're on a smaller trail, which is not really a trail. It's not marked, so we're just following what we think is the trail underfoot and just using the GPS to see where we're going. But yeah, there's not a very defined trail, as you can see here. Well, first bit of civilization for a while. So we just got to walk down this road a tad just to connect to the next footpath. Right, so we're about 150 metres from a little fireplace and campsite here at a place called Lillestrøm. And it's overlooking the sea on one of the archipelagos here, because you've got all of the peninsulas and archipelagos that the sea connects to, and got all the fresh water coming off into it, so it can be quite brackish, but you can, you know, one day you can catch a pollock and a pike on the next cast, because the pike can really withstand the brackish water. But we should be here, I think it feels like more than 150 metres. Oh wow, look at this. Bag of jerky. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. What have I got? Beef teriyaki in mine. Right, refueled. Time to make our way. So just got to go back up the road we came down, hit onto another trail, and then we're heading back further into the national park there, towards the burn. So I can't remember when it was, about 15, maybe even 20 years ago. The massive area of this park had a huge fire, and there's a big area of it in the centre that is called the burn area. And we're going to hike back through there tomorrow, I think. But we're going to head down to another little tarn there where there's a wind hut now. So just got to follow back down the road that we came from, and then break onto another trail and head down there. I've got the old knees out as the sun is out. And it's a beautiful day, so looking forward to getting back on the trail in this beautiful day that we've got today. Well, there we go. So off the road and back into the woods. And what a lovely place it is as well. Oh, Christ. Right, so this says we've got about 2.5k, which isn't too far. Kev's took the most dyslexic route possible. Lovely. So we're now entering part of the burn. You can see a lot of the trees down, and there are some signs of blackening and stuff. I think it was about 15 years ago, if I remember rightly. But this massive area, this area on the map here, was completely taken out. And obviously, with a burn like that, what they'll do is they'll come in and they'll cut fire breaks into it as well to stop it spreading any further. But reading back there at that sign there, that there's trees that have got they've cut them, you know, that are 200 years old, and they've looked through the roots or the trunk of the rings, and they got signs of like 20 different burns on them. But this is amazing. We're just coming up into we're sort of topping out in the park here now, just coming around the corner here and up this slab of granite. Oh, and you can see all the way around here all the bits of broken trees and the new life that is coming out. But what a fantastic view we've got up here. Right, onwards and upwards. Now I'm being really quiet here, because if you look just over here, I'm just going to flick the camera around just between the trees there. You can see a real wolf. How amazing is that? And here we go. Tonight's home. You can just see the hut just behind there. Oh, here we be. Home for tonight.
Oh, Martin, I love it!
Well, someone is as happy as a pig in shit to be going in the water there. But what an absolute beautiful place to just blooming jump off and jump in as nature wanted you to, huh? Beautiful day. Late October, late September. And it's absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, what a beautiful spot for this evening. Looking forward to this. Right, going to get my bed all set up and everything, and I'm probably going to have a swim and a wash as well. And maybe have a fresh change of pants as well, I think, for today. Might treat myself. Why am I doing this? Right, are we ready? Last swim in Sweden, 2024. Boom! Woo! Oh man! Right, so pretty much nearly set. So sleeping bag wise, so I've got, this is the Fjern Snarker, this one is. So this is it's only a 2-season bag, but I was a bit worried whether I'd been too cold in it, but it's actually been all right, to be honest. You know, it hasn't been massively cold, But yeah, I was just a bit concerned that that would not be good enough. And then I just got the Thermarest Neo Air underneath, and my flex towel pillow, and then my down jacket I just roll up and that goes on the top there to give me full-on snoring capability when I'm laying on my back. Right, time to get some food. I think I've got a couple of tins of fish there. I'm just going to have a snazzle on. We've got a coffee on the go there, and sit back and just watch this absolute brilliant lake down here. There's a float plane just going over just in front of us there. It must be amazing to have one of those and just to land on the lake. Right, so camp's all set up. I've got my bedroom set up pretty much the same as what we did yesterday. Just done a few camp chores, so I've just boiled up a load of water, so I've got some water to drink when we walk back to the car tomorrow. I can't believe how quick it's gone, really. A couple of days out here, it's gone really quick. But this is an absolutely beautiful campsite that we've got here. Got the fire on, just drying off a few clothes that I've just washed and laundered so I can get them back on when we walk out tomorrow, and just having something to eat. So I've opened up one of the Arctic Field ration packs by Real Field Meal, so I've got that cranberry bar, and then I'm going to have the good old faithful nut butter and that solid piece of bread that resembles a roof tile in there. And then this evening I'm going to have one of my favourites, which is the salmon and pasta there as well. So yeah, so that's basically it for the day. I'm just going to crack up and have a little nanny nap there. And what an absolute fantastic spot we've got here overlooking this absolutely gorgeous lake. Right, well, nice little nanny nap anyway. I fell asleep pretty damn quick there for a couple of hours. Just brewed up a nice coffee. Just going to have this and wait for the rain. Just checked out on the forecast there. It looks like it's forecast to rain from about 1800 pretty much all through the night until about 6 a.m. And then we'll be packing up and making our way back to the motor tomorrow. It looks like we've got about 6k, 7k walk to do tomorrow. So hopefully there is sort of a window tomorrow that we'll be able to walk back without the rain by the time it then starts really raining at about 1500. So we need to be back at the car there by about 1500 tomorrow before we do a little bit of shopping, take all the goodies back home that I always take home, and then make our way back up to the airport there. Right, well, I guess you can hear that. It is absolutely hossing it down out there. We've got the fire going in front of us. We're nice and cozy inside this little hut inside here, and no wind, so there's no ingress of the water. So it's just nice just sitting here. So it's about 1900 at the moment. So we're just going to sit here, just chew the cud for a little bit, and we shall catch you in the morning. Yeah, you get coffee in bed, but there's no sexual favours.
Thank you, mate.
There you go.
Got ya. Lovely. Thanks, buddy.
All right, morning world. Time for some coffee. I slept like an absolute baby last night. That rain peltering down on the top there, that just was just so ambient and just made me fall asleep so quickly. And slept pretty much through the night, all the way through, apart from Mr. Bloody Jingles. Mr. Jingles came at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and he was in and out of here, and I could hear him running around. Every time I turned on my blooming headlamp, I couldn't see him. Turn it off, you could hear him running. And then I caught him. Kevin left his bag of nuts open there, and I just see this thing, tail comes flying out of there, and ran off with an almond in his mouth. So put that away, went back to sleep for a couple of hours, and it stopped raining at about 6 this morning, just as it was getting light. So fire on, got a brew on. It's now started to rain again, but it's quite fine rain it is now. But what a beautiful place to wake up to for our last day here at Tyresta National Park. What an amazing place, and there's still plenty of it to do. You know, you could easily come back here and visit more places that we haven't been to. So plan today, well, it's pack this lot up. It's walk back through. We're going to walk back through the burn, so that's going to be quite interesting to walk through. And back to the car, bit of shopping, and then back up. So we've got probably about, I think it's about 6 to 8k to do today. So not a massive walk, but it's going to be nice to walk through the area once we've had all of that rain last night. And I'm still contemplating whether to get down to my birthday suit and jump in that lake before we go. What do you reckon, Kev? A swim before we go?
Yeah, definitely.
You got to, haven't you? You know, you absolutely got to. Where else can you just feel so safe and just natural, you know, just to completely strip off and just jump in the lake? We were swimming yesterday. There was an old couple just come past here and sat and just watched us swimming, asking us if it was cold and everything, because it's completely normal for people to be completely butt naked. You know, they're so open over here, and just, you know, you are who you are, and there's no sort of holds bars and worry about body shape and this and that over here. It's just the frame of mind that the Swedes and most of the Scandinavians have got are it's just amazing. It is their respect for nature, their respect for themselves, everyone else, and just they're just lovely. They are just lovely people. So let's get this finished. I think I'm going to get myself some food on the go. I've got one more soup left, and I think I'm going to have that from a brekkie this morning, a real Termat meat soup, and we'll get that down a gullet. And then I think it is going to be a jump in this lake. It does seem quite low, this lake does. There is a sluice just on the far end that we walked at, and I couldn't quite work out whether it was weed on the surface over there or not, but now I can see it from where the sun is now. It is actually rock that's showing, so the water level in this lake is pretty low, but still, what a fantastic place. Right, cheers. Why am I doing this? Right, are we ready? Last swim in Sweden, 2024. Boom! Woo, woo. Oh man! Oh, how fantastic is this? Oh, I don't feel too bad actually. Good old cup of soup to start the day with after that little swim there. So we're now just about to pack up. Let's say we've probably got about an 8k trip, I think, through the woods and through the burn back to the car. But you know, it's been what we had. So 4 days and 3 nights we've done, and it's been absolutely fantastic. I don't know what you felt about it.
I've been blessed. I've had a beautiful time. I told you earlier on, I don't want to go home. You've introduced me to a different part of the world I've never thought I'd ever see again.
It's amazing out here,
it's
beautiful,
isn't it?
It is absolutely amazing. And like I say, you know, how easy it is to get here. You know, I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. You know, 5 hours up to the Lake District to get up there. You're talking 200 quid fuel. And then, you know, for here, we spent, what, 400 quid between us, haven't we?
Ridiculous, isn't it?
You
Ridiculous.
know, to get out here and just do something completely out of the way. So there's a real market from the UK to come out and do this sort of thing over here, even for a couple of days.
Definitely.
And it's gone quick though, hasn't it?
I've had the best time, Martin.
It's gone
Absolutely
quick.
The best time.
Nice time of the year as well. You know, you've got all the fungi out as well, and the berries still on the plants and stuff. not many tourists and stuff around, so it has been absolutely fantastic.
And everyone we met have been so friendly as well, haven't they?
Yeah,
so friendly.
absolutely. And that's the great thing about it. You know, we see the couple of lads out on parental leave earlier on, and you know, and they sit down and join us for the sausages and whatnot, and have a chat with them, and it's been great.
The little kids are rolling around,
in the mud. You know, it's how it should be, isn't it? How it should be. He's running around in his birthday suit yesterday, and the old couple just walked past and just not fussed about it at all. You know, it's just
as nature intended.
Just as nature intended. Right, so we've still got to pack away and stuff. I'm going to just have this soup just warm up after that swim, and we'll start making our way. So we're following around this lake. So we came around from the north side. We're now following around the south and the southwest, and then we're walking through the burn. Sounds like something out of science fiction, doesn't it? Oh. Right, anyway, let's get this drunk and get everything packed away.
Oh, that's been brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Memories will last forever.
Right, all good?
Yes, boss.
Let's go. Right then, off we go. Right, so here we be, back in the burn. So you can see all the way around us here, you've got the young trees that have grown up since. And then you've got all those old trees that have come down with the burn, or they've been felled as a fire break. So it is a big area. I can't remember how big it is, but it's interesting just to see how, you know, something as tragic as that, how nature just takes back over. And you know, in some of the places they actually need to burn, don't they? But yeah, it's beautiful through here. It's a bit slippy underfoot, but I've got my pole. Oh, look at those bad boys down there. They look beautiful. Ugh. Yeah. Right, so we've just come down from that plateau out of the burn into this boreal forest down here, and the fungi that are in here is amazing. It really is. I can just see a lake in front of me, and oh, nearly went with a step then. And I think that is our next turn, is just by the lake, and then we've got to head west to follow another trail. But how remarkable was it up there? It was just amazing to walk across this like glacial, you know, polished granite up there, and amongst all of those trees that are down. But yeah, it's a beautiful lake just in front of us now. Well, it's getting a bit wet through here, and it's just started to rain, so I've just pulled out the old gatewood cape, converted it into poncho so you can really see it, you know, being used in anger now. So it's been absolutely brilliant, this poncho tent has, for this this little trip. A nice little lightweight tent, and then obviously when it's raining it's used as a poncho. And it's working out quite well, really, because I haven't had to take a raincoat with me. The waterproof trousers are just in my chest pocket here as well, so if it does start throwing it down, I can just stick those on. But they all pack away inside of the pocket with the tent as well, so I've got a full waterproof, you know, wearable rain kit, and also my tent as well. Right, this way through the dank forest. I am looking forward to a sauna when I get home. I absolutely stink. I feel sorry for whoever's got to sit next to me on the plane. Oh. Right, so we're into, I would say we're about halfway into 5.2k, now halfway back to where we need to be. And we just come out of another piece of the burn onto this flat area, and you can see we dropped down in elevation. There's the heather all around us now, and there's a really, really beautiful little walk, all these twisted pines and everything in front. Right, I think the rain settled in for us now, so it's full on hood job there. So we're now 3k away from the village of Tyresta, which is where the car is parked, and that is straight down this little track here, which is a nice easy track, so it shouldn't take us too long to get there. But we've been so lucky with the weather. You know, okay, we had a bit of rain the first night, but yesterday, what an absolute beautiful day we had. In shorts, sat by the sea. Right, I'm going to put my head down, watch where my feet are going, and get back to the car. Right, so we're just coming out onto the main path, and we are literally just a stone's throw away from the car at the visitors centre there. So thank you for watching this trip. It's been really good. I hope it's give you a little bit of an inspiration to do a bit of carry-on camping. For me, I've really enjoyed it, having a nice light bag, you know, lightweight gear. This thing's been absolutely brilliant, this poncho stroke tent by 6 Moons. Been absolutely fantastic. So thank you for watching. Do keep an eye out for some other carry-on camping videos that will be coming up. They'll probably be in the spring now. But my name is Martin. I'm into my hiking, my fishing, my bushcraft, my pack rafting, just generally being outdoors. If you like what you see on the channel, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you next time on the next one.